Hey everybody! Okay, I'm hoping that all of this is going to work. I had to completely restart my computer. So, praying. It looks like we're doing good. Alright, I've got audio, making sure my audio is good. We don't want that from last time. Okay, so tonight we are going to be making this cute little shamrock Lucky Charms cupcake. We are going to be using glitter snow, but we're going to make it into frosting, so that will be fun. Colors tonight that we're using: bright yellow, metallic 14 karat gold, a lot of colors: pumpkin, fuchsia. We are going to be using palmino, a lot of different shades of green, gecko, electric lime, and Jubilee green, Mediterranean, and pansy. So we have got quite the color of the rainbow tonight, but it's going to be little bits here and there, not a ton everywhere, but we're going to have fun. So with that being said, oh, and of course, as always, black and white, which I forgot to grab, so I'll throw that down here. All right, I am going to go ahead and flip you guys down. Okay, here we go. So we will get started. I'm going to go ahead and get started with bright yellow. And let me just make sure I've got this up. Sorry, I just want to make sure I've got this image up. I know it sounds silly, but I want to make sure I get the rainbow pattern correctly, because in my brain it could go so little different. So, okay, sorry about that. All right, we are gonna start, like I said, with yellow. Let me try this brush. I had to hurry and also run it and get these brushes cleaned out. Okay, so bright yellow is what I'm using. I'm just going to use the cat for this. Let's see, 1, 2, and 3. We're going to go right here with it. Now I will probably come back and use the bright yellow again for sprinkles once we lay down the green. But for right now, I just wanted to get the block parts of our painting done. Hey Sherry, how are you? And if you guys saw, I am painting with a new little tool. I'm trying this out. I'm all about trying new gadgets. Right now, somebody had suggested using a turntable to help with my shoulder. So I am willing to try anything once or twice. So today we tried the Lazy Susan. I got this off of Amazon, so if any of you guys are interested in it, I think it was like $10. This would be really good for wreaths or like showing off your table decor too. So anyhow, I got this little guy. I got the black version, but I think there's a white one as well. So I'm just getting the angle there. And then I'm going to get these coins. We are going to paint them gold, but I'm going to give them a base tone. The reason why is sometimes the gold will show a little bit of the white through. So just to help it out, I'd rather it have a gold base that it kind of pops through on than it not to have anything. So basically, we're doing a yellow primer on it for the gold. So I'm not going to worry too much about getting super good coverage, because like I said, we're getting that gold metallic on it, but just a good coverage is all we're needing. And then hi Rhea and Sherry. I don't know, I know I said hi to Sherry, but Rhea, I can't remember if I said hi. I'm excited to see you, girly. I'm assuming you're coming to Sims. Even if you can come to say hi to us at the hotel, right? Because you're not too far. All right, so I'm just going to hit this real quick. With the heat gun. And this bright yellow does have a really good coverage to it for yellows, but there is a little bit of splotchiness, so I want to just hit it one more time, especially the stripe on our cupcake liner here. All right, and yellow we are going to say is done for the moment. Okay. Just cleaning my brush here. And I think I forgot to tell you, this is a 5/8 angle brush that I'm using tonight. Oh, you guys, I forgot her cute little coin up here. Silly me. Whoopsie. Let me hurry and get this guy. Open your eyes, Rachel. Okay. All right, now to the metallic 14 karat gold. Hey, Johnny. I hope you get feeling better, sweetie. I'm so sorry you're sick. No fun. That C word is no fun. Okay, so metallic 14 karat gold is what we're using next. And I am just going to go right back over where we did the yellow. And this is just going to give that yellow undertone to it. Because with metallic paint, sometimes it will pull the color underneath. And so with doing this, it's just going to help it show better when you move it different ways. And then with the metallic, I always do 2 coats as well. Another thing to emphasize with the metallic is when you do heat gun it, it can bubble really fast. So you're going to want to not keep it in one spot too long, okay? And that goes for all metallic. Okay, this poor gun. I think it hates me secretly. I've dropped it so many times. The last time I thought it was like, yep, you're done. But he's still fighting through. Good old Harbor Freight tools, right? Okay, I'm gonna just hit this one time with the metallic on the edge here too. I don't usually worry too much about the edges, just because I've never seen that much. Okay, so I'm going to hit this one more time, the gold. And this really gives that really good coverage. That second coat is just wonderful for the metallic. It really, you can move it any way, and it really pulls that gold each way. All right. Oops. Okay. So there is our gold. Moving on, we'll go to the orange stripe next. Orange is going to go right here. And then this orange is the pumpkin orange. Still just going to be using my cat. And then, like I said, I might come back in and add the sprinkles and use the and use the colors again, if I can talk correctly. Oh my goodness. So just working on this Cupcake liner. Okay. Clean that up. A little piece of hair here. There we go. Getting the edge. And then orange, sometimes when it dries, it's going to be a little bit splotchy, so we're going to hit this one time with the heat gun here. Now, if I was doing batch work, I'd just keep on continuing onto a different sign and keep going that way, and then come back. Usually when I do batch work, which means I'm painting more than one sign at a time, I can always kind of come back. So I usually do about 2 to 3 at a time, if not more. Okay, nice smooth strokes here. There we go. All right. So the pumpkin orange is done. And then instead of red tonight, I thought it would be cute to do the pink on the cupcake. So we are going to use fuchsia instead. I don't know, there's just something cute about green and pink to me that I love using it whenever I can. So I had everything pulled up, and then in my OBS that I usually film with, said it needed an update, so I'm like, oh no. So I needed a restart and everything. I was praying it would get done in time, because it was not a, hey, you need to update, you want to update later? Nope, it was, we're updating now. I'm like, great. Of course it would happen to me right before going on, right? Seems like it's Murphy's Law that way. Now I'm kind of trying to decide if we should do the pink fluffy frosting here and do the greens here. And I'm kind of thinking I'm loving the idea. Or I go with the pink up here, but I was planning on doing the green. Decisions. What shall we do? I think, what do you guys think? Should we do pink frosting, or should we do the shades of green frosting? I might add pink in the polka dots. I'm changing my mind from my original. I'm gonna just think about it for a minute. We'll think about it. We can always come back for pink. Now, like I said, fuchsia is one of those ones. It's kind of one and done, so we'll keep on moving on. I'm going to go in with the Palomino light green. And then with this one, we're going to paint up here. All right. Just smoothing out my lines. All right. Go over the coin here. So I'm just loading my brush, taking the edge, kind of matching my line, and then kind of pulling through, okay? Same thing here. Hi Diane, how are you? Thanks for joining us tonight. Diane, are you new to our group? The design group? I don't think I've seen your name pop up before. So welcome, welcome. So I'm just going right around this little shamrock tail here. That's up at the top of our cupcake. And then getting our little frosting. Well, thank you for joining us, and thanks for coming in. It's a pleasure having you here. I can't wait to get to know you more. So I'm just painting these edges real quick, guys. Other edge on this side. And this Palomino green, really it does seem to be one green, believe it or not. I know I've said in the past that green is always one that you have to have 2 coats on, but this guy, I've always used him for shading, so haven't ever really used him for full coverage, but he looks like he is a one and done. Hey, Caroline. Oh, I'm seeing the botchy come through. Never mind, I lied. So this one tonight I would put as beginner, maybe a little bit more than beginner, but pretty easy to do. This one, we're not doing any shading tonight, nothing like that, nothing crazy. I do have the circles already drawn on, but you could easily use a dauber, a paint dauber for the circles. Okay. So Palomino green is done. Next color up on our palette is going to be the Gecko green. And that is going to go where our sprinkle part is. And up at the top where our shamrock is. Gecko is another one of my favorite colors. And pretty much all the paint tonight is Ceram Coat, Delta Ceram Coat, and it's acrylic paint. You can get it at Hobby Lobby, some Joann's, Target has it. I'm trying to think. Online, of course. Yeah, I think that's it. I know that Michael's doesn't carry it. I wish they did. So I'm just going around with my brush, just loading the brush up, so about halfway up my brush. I am using an angle brush, a 5/8 angle brush. And so what we're doing is just loading it in, getting a nice smooth line, and there we go. And what I like to do when I paint is I try and get the detailed part of it first. So right around the edges, kind of as if like when you were in school and you were doing your coloring books, kind of you colored around the edges first and then you could scribble and go crazy around the other parts. Same thing here. Okay, just getting this side real quick. Getting our edges. Okay. Now I'm going to get their little shamrock here. So once again, going right around our edges. This brush is a little big for the area, so you're going to see me working a little bit tighter. If you needed to, at this point, for beginners, I would go down to a smaller brush, probably a 1/4, to get in between the little lines here. But we all know me, I like to play it hard. So we're just going to do little itty bitty strokes, barely get a little bit on the tip of my brush, and that's how I kind of get in these smaller little areas with my brush. But if you don't feel confident in your brush skills, then definitely go down. Okay, so now we're just going to go right around this edge. One more time. There we go. Smooth out our paint. I'll lift this up again. I am loving this little Lazy Susan rolling table though, I'm going to say. I've been painting with it for basically today. I got it Sunday, so I didn't do too much yesterday. Gonna hit this with the heat gun. Remember with heat gun, low setting, never on high. And you don't want to leave it in too long of one area because it will make your paint bubble. Even with using a blow dryer, same thing, you don't want to leave it too long, it will make it bubble. And even with the hair dryer, I wouldn't put it on a high setting. Hi Tonya. Alright, so we're going to just do one more coat. Here we go. It's amazing what that one extra coat does, right? Just makes it so much brighter. right around the edge there. Now I am just using my cap tonight because, like I said, there's not too much that I need to pour out for. There's just a lot of colors that we've used tonight. And since there's a lot of colors, I'm trying to hopefully work as fast as I can so we can get done in time. I hate keeping you guys too long. All right. So we got that guy. Come back up here, do this little shamrock. I did get a little bit over there, but I'm not going to worry about it because our detail lines are going to hide it. All right, just smoothing out our paint, and there we go. That one is done. And you guys, you know what? I'm thinking that if I do the Jubilee green, it's gonna pull a little bit darker than I wanted. I wanted bright colors. So I think if we do this Jubilee, it's gonna be too dark. So I know I said I was gonna use the Jubilee, but I don't think I'm gonna use it this time. But we are going to use electric lime. I hope I have enough. Oh, yep, I have another bottle. I try when my bottles are getting low to pull extras, so. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. So first thing that we're gonna do is I'm gonna do this real quick, and then we're gonna come back and do the puff paint or the snow paint on it and make it frosting. But I like to get that base tone just like how we did with the gold, with the yellow. I like to have a base tone of the green that I'm using to lay down with the frosting that we're going to be doing. So we'll get this guy real quick. So I'm just getting a nice clean edge here, coming back up. Add a little bit of drag towards the bottom or to that end, so we'll get that fixed up real quick. Just getting our middle, getting our paint nice and smoothed out. And just a little bit on my edge of my brush here, and that's going to clean up that edge that got a little bit of the drag of paint. When I say drag, it's when you don't have enough paint on your brush, so you're going to start seeing the white or your bottom part of your paint coming through. Okay, grab this, we're going to get the edge here, because Lord knows I forget my edges plenty. Okay, leaving that alone, we're going to go with this stripe right here, which is our green stripe. Okay. Go back up here, get right around this frosting. Get to our edge, there we go. Smooth that out. Okay, starting to pull a little bit of paint, so we're going to let that dry for a sec. I'll get the edge, and then we'll do the heat gun again. And just a few. So I'm going to do these polka dots real quick here. Now you could use a little plouncer or paint dauber. I'm just going to use the brush tonight. But if you're not confident, definitely go ahead and use that. So a lot of the times when you're doing circles, you're going to paint one way, lift up, paint the other. If your wrist starts getting cramped, you stop, because after that, that's when your brush stroke is not going to be as smooth. I have to say, with this Lazy Susan, it's making it quite nice. I'm loving my new tool. Thank you, TikTok. There are a couple of painters that I follow, and they were saying that it's helped them with their carpal tunnel and everything else, because they're not having to hold on to it, onto their signs in funky ways. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll try it. All right. I'm like, what's the worst that it will hurt? I don't like it. All right. So we're just getting this little swish here with the frosting. Oh, I'm catching this and I'm loving it. Was it at Best Buy? Well, hopefully you got something fun. Lord knows I like a Best Buy. Okay, whoops, we went a little bit over, so I'm just going to clean that up just a little bit, no biggie. Right here, once again, that nice little swishy. There we go. Okay, I am going to go to a smaller brush for this little dot and that little dot. And I think I'm just going to use a liner or a detail brush. This was a 10/0 spotter. This is usually what I use for outlining and do the highlighting. But we'll just use this because it was right there. New and old one. Well, with Geek Squad, that sounds like uh-oh problems, but hopefully it was good. They got it all figured out. Or they will. I love that they have that though. It's quite nice. Okay, so we're good there. Oh, that's cool. Linda says CVS in Virginia was handing out N95 masks for government today. Very nice. Okay, so I'm just cleaning up the edges here. And then our polka dots, we will hit those real quick and then we're going to make some frosting. 20 masks per package. Wow, that's cool. Okay. So one quick clean up here. Just touch these up, our dots, since they're a little bit splotchy. So same thing again. kind of going around, getting our edges. I always feel like the second coat goes so much faster. Okay. I'll come back with the liner brush. Okay, voila. Ooh, it's so cute. Okay, let me get these guys real quick. Our little boop-a-boop dots. And this little guy right here. Okay. And our electric lime is right there. Okay, so I get these little jars at the dollar store. I'm going to move that out of the way for a minute. And they make great for mixing the puff paints in. Especially because I'm excessive with it. Always grab kind of a brush that you're not too fond of. I'm probably going to make just a little bit more because I do need to paint the door hanger version of this one as well. So just so you know. But it's hard for me because I always get too much paint when I paint because, like I said, I usually paint a lot. This, oh hey Case, this is Glitter Snow, and it is Aline's. It's my favorite one. I've tried other puffy snow. This one just seems to be my favorite. I have found it at Michael's every now and then, but your best place to find it is Amazon, and it's not too bad in price. So then what I'm going to do, you guys, is I'm going to take the electric lime. Normally I would just scoot it, or I would squirt it in, but whereas I was telling you this bottle is pretty much toast, I don't have much left in it, I'm not going to worry too much about it. So we're going to just mix up our frost in here. We might need to add some more green, but it's looking pretty cute. Kind of liking our green right now. So if you guys can see, kind of looks like fluff, like marshmallow fluff is kind of how I can describe it. Yes, you can make it any color. I've made it pink for Valentine's. I have purple. I can't remember what I did the purple with, but I just keep them in these little jars. These are little travel jars that you get at the dollar section. They come in 3 in a pack. They're also great for holding your glitter, just FYI. If you get those in the bags, they're great little containers. So dollar store travel section, and then like I said, the Aline's glitter. And I like the glitter because you guys know me, I like glitter anyways, but I like the glitter because it does pull a glitter with this the more it dries. So what we're going to do is then we're just going to kind of puff it on here, and I just kind of dab at first because you're really just looking to get some coverage, and then we'll make it nice and cute and fluffy and creamy looking. But I feel like it's almost like you're playing with shaving cream mixture slash like marshmallow fluff. Not probably as sticky as marshmallow fluff, but definitely a fun little mixture we got. Okay, so we're going just around our little coin here. And I try and do this towards the end of when I'm painting, or when I'm towards the end of the area that I'm painting in, because it does take a while for it to dry. And putting the heat gun on it just doesn't work either. But it is very fun. Okay, so now that we've kind of got the coverage, and like I said, always make sure that you're using a cheap brush, or a brush that you've kind of beat the snot out of and is no longer in working function for painting, because this glitter stuff is like playing with glue, same like the Mod Podge. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create small little circles. Okay, and then I'm going to flip my brush and go the other way when I feel like it's getting built up. And this is going to create that cute whipped frosting effect. So can you guys see that? Isn't that cute? Thank you. Hey, Teresa. I don't know if I said hi. I might have. It's getting late. My brain's dead. Okay, I'm going to just clean this off with my hands here. There's only so much you can do with that brush. Very cute. Thank you. All right, so we will store this for now. Okay, and put the lid on this guy. We'll scrape it out later, get all the paint we can. Okay, so that was the electric lime green that I used, just FYI, with the Elaine's Glitter Snow. So right there, Elaine's Glitter Snow. Favorite stuff. It works for snow, and then it, like I said, it works for the frosting. I really like the look of it. Okay, so now we're gonna go with the blue. For our blue stripe and purple stripe. And now that we've got this down, I will go ahead and just start adding a little bit of some sprinkles on here as well. Let me grab my 5/8 angle brush. Just cleaning it out real quick. Okay. Whoop. Whoopee. Good thing that did not get on my signer. I would have been mad. Okay. This Mediterranean, I don't know what it still is, but it has gotten very watery. But I mean, it's amazing because the coverage on it is so good. All right. So just loading the brush real quick here. We're gonna take it, go straight on down. If we feel a drag, we'll stop. Or if we feel like our placement's off. Okay. And then just a nice smooth quote down. And I'm going to wipe my hands so I don't get this on the sign. Okay, let me just grab real quick and we'll do our little edge here. Okay. Now I'm going to grab the 0/10 spotter brush. I get these, you guys, from Folk Art. It's Folk Art brand. They have a little grippy on them. They are from Walmart. So we're just going to add the cute little sprinkles here. Maybe we'll do one more right here and one more right here. Okay, that's all I'm going to do with our blue. Hopefully I don't make a mess of this all over my hands again. There we go. Okay. And now to Pansy Purple is our next one. Thank you, Sherry. Appreciate it. Okay. Isn't that blue amazing though? I love how bold it is. It's kind of a little bit deeper than a cobalt, but I love it. All right. I don't want to get too much on my brush here because this is just a little bit of a spot that we're using. There we go. Go right down here. Okay. Now this purple typically needs 2 coats, but I'm going to kind of put on a little bit heavier to hopefully prevent it, but we'll see. Just getting our edge here. Okay. Alrighty. And get the liner brush here. One thing that's nice about the liner brush is it cleans quite well. Alright, so I'm going to add some sprinkles. Oh, there we go. And we'll go right here with one more. Okay. Let me heat gun this real quick. Yeah, I think the coverage is really good on it, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. Okay. So like I said, we're going to go back to the other colors real quick and just add the sprinkles real quick, our rainbow sprinkles on. So we'll grab pink. Okay. Maybe. Nope, I think we're good there. And we'll go with our orange next. One more time. Let's see, yeah, we'll go right here. I'm doing 2 little lines with this one just to kind of give a little bit heavier of a coat. Since the orange is going to kind of pull up a little bit of the green here. And our last color is yellow. A yellow, we might have to do this a couple of times. Actually, it's showing up quite well, so good. Okay. Looking good. I'm excited. All right. So now for our black, our highlight, or our outlining real quick, and then we'll do some highlighting, throw a little bit of glitter on this cute little top shamrock, and we will be done. Okay. Now I do like to add water to my black. It just makes it a little bit easier to use when you're outlining because it just moves better. It's not as thick. It's the only time you'll hear me probably say yay to watering down paint. So we'll come in here. I'm going to do a cute little zigzag. And my outlining, if it's towards the outside of the edge, I kind of go just a little bit inward just to give it a little more depth. If it's right where two paint lines are, I go right on top, or try to as much as I can. I gotta have just a little bit of paint towards the end here. There we go. There we go. I think I'm going to do a cute little zigzag there. So this is where it's going to get just a little bit more difficult because we're playing with this puff paint a little bit. But nothing we can't handle. What I would suggest doing is just trying to kind of keep your brush a little bit more upright. And kind of just taking it nice and slow. There we go. Okay. I'm going to put a little zigzag here. And then this coin's three-dimensional, so I'm going to add another little line right here. Let it pop out a little bit. There we go. And then we'll do the coin here first. That guy was right there. All right. So I'm just going really light over the puff paint as much as I can. There we go. I'm gonna clean my brush just a little bit because it did get it. How's my shoulder? It's hanging in. I tried to take it pretty light this weekend, so that's helped a little bit. I do go in for the MRI tomorrow, so hopefully they'll find what they need and we can figure out what to do. I'll find out March 1st what it is that will need to happen. So whether it be surgery, more physical therapy, you know, shots, whatever, I'll figure that all out. So I've leaned more towards it surgery, just kind of based on what he said, but we'll see. It's hard not knowing what to do though, you know, kind of being up in the air. It's probably been the biggest struggle, is, you know, you want to plan out things and you just can't. So it'll be good to know what's going on. But thank you for asking. I appreciate the concern. Okay, so I did get a little bit over here with paint. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of hide that with my outline right here. And that will totally hide it. Nobody will ever know. Well, besides you guys. I'm just going to get this edge real quick. There we go. Right around here. Get that cute guy. Okay. We'll do another little ziggy-zag. Whoop, that did not go as cute as I wanted it to. We'll clean it up with some white highlight. I'll make it look adorbs. Okay, so there we go. Oh, it's so cute. I caught it up in the light. Hey, Eloise, how are you? It's been so long. Okay, highlighting, we're just gonna grab the white like I always do. We'll kind of maybe do just a little bit on the foil just to kind of make it maybe a little more dimensional. Grab a little bit for our cute little zigzag right down at the bottom and on our coin. Oh, I am not liking how that curved. There we go. Isn't it amazing what a little bit of highlight does? I am going to highlight just a little bit on our frosting. Not too much, but just a little. Oh, I should have did a little bit of outlining right there around the coin. We'll come back to that. So now here I'm just going to add some little swirls to our polka dots. Okay, come on. This zigzagging me. It does not want to be friends. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to just grab right here. There we go. Much better. Okay, so I'm going to do our name because we have Lucky down here. I've been working late. Oh, goodness. No fun, but I guess it's good to have the money though, right? I'm going to go ahead and do the marker, but what we'll do is we'll go ahead and glitter real quick. This glitter came from the Tropical Mix. They're like little jars. I wish I could find, I need to have Lisa look and see if she can find it for me. But this is a tropical green that they have in the little kids section, and it's adorable. I love the green there. It's very bright and bold. I thought about doing like a really bright neon green, but I thought it would be too distracting. Oh, here's the Mod Podge brush. Okay, so Mod Podge brushes just seem like the fluffy brushes of paint. You don't want to use a good brush. So we're just putting the Mod Podge, swirling it around, because you know me, guys, gotta do my glitter. Okay. And these little cups I also got from the dollar store. Oh, never mind. I didn't have anything. I don't know why the tip of that was, but I got these from the dollar store, but I like the screw-on caps a little bit more because the glitter doesn't jump out at you if you pop it off a little bit hard. So, just FYI. Okay. Now what I'm going to do so that the white highlights a little bit better, the embossing tool, this is actually from the dollar store. You're just going to use that to clean up our white. And it will bring our white out just a little bit more. So now you can kind of see, it kind of brings it out. Makes it a little bit bolder. Okay, so I'm going to take our glitter paper, put that away. We'll hurry and get the name on here, and then we will call it good. So we're not too far over. So I'm going to use the Posca pin. And grab a sticky note here. And we will get this done. This one is the 3mm Posca. Now whenever you're using the paint pens, definitely prime by shaking. Hit it just a little bit so that you know that the ink's down. I have a little fuzzy on here. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna write Lucky. Now I might need to come in and do a little bit of white highlighting or shadowing effect behind it. if it's not pulling real well and kind of getting lost in the lines. That does help a little bit. So just making our nice little U. Now the thing is, when we're doing writing, whenever you're doing a downward stroke, that side's going to be bigger. When you go an upward stroke, it's going to be shorter. So when you're typically writing, you'll know, you'll kind of feel your brush do it. So that's kind of how you can get the idea of small line versus big line when you're writing. This I didn't do it too much with, just because I wanted it to just be kind of fun and whimsy. And then just so you know, the Posca pins I do get on Amazon as well. But I have found them at Joann's, some Joann's. I should emphasize that. I have not actually looked at Hobby Lobby, but somebody did tell me that Hobby Lobby is starting to carry them. Whoop. Okay. There we go. Couldn't get the stroke I wanted there. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. Alrighty. I'm thinking I kind of like it like that. I'm not thinking we need the highlight underneath because of the highlight that we used for our cupcake liner. I'm just seeing a few little spots that didn't get hit with the marker to clean up. There we go. Let me show you a different way. So we got our cute little Lucky there, doot, doot, doot. And let me flip my camera up can see it this way. There we go. Ain't she cute? So you can see the fluffy paint there. I've got the metallic, some glitter. Ain't that fun? So thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight and painting this yummy sweet treat. Doesn't that make you just like... But anyways, thank you, Linda. I appreciate it. And Sherry. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I will be doing Cricut class tomorrow, so I will see you then. Bye, guys. Thank you, Brenda. Thank you, Joanne.